Hi und willkommen bei Chill German. Heute machen wir etwas Besonderes, etwas Neues. Wir sprechen über die Top 5 Fragen, um wie eine waschechte deutsche Person zu klingen. Wir haben einen besonderen Fokus auf die Aussprache. Wie muss es klingen? Dafür wechseln wir in diesem Video zu Englisch. In 3, 2, 1, jetzt. So, we're going to talk about the top 5 questions to sound like a proper German. And the number 1 question, the first one that comes to my mind whenever I think what sounds German, is a very simple one. It's just 2 letters. It's H, and then the annoying umlaut, It's he. However, that's not how you pronounce it. This word is used as an expression of surprise, of not understanding, of confusion. And it's incredibly important to draw from the depth of your gut. Pull everything that you have. Express all of the confusion and distaste for not understanding that you have inside of you and pour it into these 2 letters. Hä? That's the German way. Hä? Hä? Huh? That's German. If you want to go a step further, you can add your facial expression, because that too needs to be properly exaggerated and over the top. Hä? Hä? That's the perfect way to do it. In addition to being an incredibly traditional and typical expression of surprise, it can be very flexibly used in a lot of different situations. The one that a proper German will like the most is when you are expressing surprise or confusion about the behavior of someone else, preferably someone you have nothing to do with. You will see someone doing something that you don't think is right, and you can go, heh, and they'll know immediately you do not approve. That's how Germans communicate. If you are in that situation and you want to do a proper German way of conflict starting, you can go to the next question, number 2. Bist du bescheuert? This is one of the most aggressive ways you can start any conflict with a fellow German person. You see someone doing something that you do not approve of, and we start with question number 1. Hä? And then we double down. We go in. We go for, bist du bescheuert? This is a very rude thing to say, obviously. So we're starting off really, really strong. The other person will then usually respond in some other rude fashion. And then you will both go along your way, having fulfilled your daily quota of rudeness and meddling in other people's lives. If you want to add an additional layer of nuance to this question, if you want to portray yourself as the hero of this situation in a facsimile of fake niceness, you can simply change it to the respectful conjugation. Instead of saying, bist du bescheuert? You show respect by saying, sind Sie bescheuert? Now, this way, everyone walking by will hear that you're using the respectful way of addressing someone, and they will all know you are the hero of this interaction. You are standing up for what is right. You are being respectful. Of course, here, body language is also very important, and naturally, you will always want to have the traditional German body language of feeling superior to the other person. Raise your chest, have your nose slightly lifted, looking down upon them. And if you want to go even one step further as you're asking, sind Sie bescheuert? You can add a hand in front of the face. Sind Sie bescheuert? That is the proper German way. Now, let's take it a step back. We started off really strong with sind Sie bescheuert. However, our third question goes in a similar direction. It's also used in a similar context. However, here, instead of hiding behind fake respectfulness, we are hiding behind being inquisitive. What we're asking is, was soll das denn? Now, obviously, was soll das denn? Translated, what is that supposed to be? What is that supposed to do? And so on and so forth, is a rhetorical question. We don't care. We don't want an answer. We don't want an explanation. We saw you doing something that we do not approve of. And an explanation is the furthest from our mind. We don't care. We just want to express that what you're doing is wrong and I do not approve. Now, while we can use this similarly to bist du bescheuert, while addressing specifically another person that we're seeing, this question, was soll das denn, can also be used more abstract. It can be used for almost any situation where anything happens that we do not approve of. The government's doing something shitty again, as usual. Was soll das denn? The trains aren't working again, as usual. Was soll das denn? You can use it for literally anything you do not approve of. And in German tradition, that's most things. Now, we've already talked a little bit about fake respect. This next super typical German question goes straight into that topic and runs away with it. Our question number 4 is, Sie wissen aber schon, dass das nicht erlaubt ist. See, there are two elements at play here. For one, we have the same false respectfulness that we have in the previous question. But also, we are implying that the person we're addressing might not know that what they're doing is wrong. Now, the really important part here is that it does not actually matter whether or not what the person is doing is actually allowed or not. It does not matter. What matters is that we do not approve, and we are standing up for what is good and right for our fellow citizens and calling you out. But we're doing it respectfully, and we're doing it by giving you the chance to say, oh, no, I had no idea. I'm sorry. Now, naturally, that's never going to be the response you get, because obviously that's not really the question you asked. But to a casual observer from the side, and to you yourself, it allows you to place yourself in a superior position. The greatest strength of this question lies in situations where you are technically correct. Let's say, for example, we have a neighbor, and this neighbor is transporting a lot of furniture, a lot of heavy things that they need to be lifting. And they decided, oof, this is going to be a lot of lifting, this is going to be a lot of work. I'll quickly stop here on the boardwalk, quickly bring everything in, and then get out of the way. Now you see this, and you, as a German, you see them standing on the boardwalk with their car. And now you could stop and think, well, they're only doing it quickly. It's going to make the whole situation much faster. But you can't forget about one important thing. They are breaking the rules, and they need to be reminded that they are doing what is wrong. And that's where this question comes in. You go up to them and you say, Sie wissen aber schon, dass das nicht erlaubt ist. And for extra points, the best moment to go in is while they're carrying something heavy, while they are currently incapable of responding to you. Then you are safe, and you can go on about your merry way. Naturally, if they do still manage to respond to you, and there's even a hint of disrespect in that response, you can and will tell them that you can and will call the police. Because, again, technically, you are in the right, and crimes should and will be punished. And then the last question, number 5, in a very similar manner, is Das muss doch nicht sein, oder? Now, this one fulfills a similar function, but again, feels slightly less aggressive. Imagine someone is standing on the escalator, and they're standing slightly too much in the middle. Now, you could say, excuse me, or the German version, Entschuldigung, and quickly squeeze through and go on about your day. But why would you let this opportunity go to waste? You can confront them. You can look at them and you can say, das muss doch nicht sein, oder? And then, very important, don't wait for an answer. Don't let them respond. Then you go on. This is again very flexible. This works for almost any situation where you encounter someone doing something that you don't like, but you don't want to engage too strongly. Let's say you see someone allowing their dog to sniff some flowers in someone's garden. Das muss doch nicht sein, oder? Or imagine that you're on the bus or on the train and you see someone sitting in their seat and they have a bag placed next to them in another seat. Now, once again, you might have a point here, and it's very important that you then do not look around and check if there are other spaces free. You don't care. They should not have their bag in that space because they're taking the space away from someone else. So you walk by, you look down, you say, also das muss doch nicht sein, oder? And then again, before they can respond, you keep going. And you will sit down, inevitably, in any one of the other free spaces. That is the German way. All right, these were our top 5 questions to sound like a proper German. If you follow all of these steps as described, you'll be nearly indistinguishable from any German person. Now, the German language is obviously rich and has many other different things that can be said in many other different situations, and so many other ways to express disapproval. Tell us in the comments, what is your favorite way to express disapproval in German? What have you overheard Germans say to you, and for what reason? We would love to hear your answers. And if you've enjoyed this video, be it different than the ones we usually make, please leave a like, subscribe, and if you want to support us further, like these wonderful people did, then check out our Patreon or our Buy Me a Coffee page. We're going to see each other in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.